Okay. I tried to upload, obviously, the reaction to YouTube. It got blocked. It wouldn't have been monetized, even if it had been viewable, which I would have been fine with if that was the only thing that it did. But obviously, since it's blocked, nobody would be able to watch it. So I had to take it down, and I put it up on 2 places. I put it up on Patreon, and I'm putting it up on Rumble. Obviously, since I'm uploading this, it's already uploaded on both. But the one on Rumble is not set to be monetized yet, so any views I get from it would be nothing. Essentially, not earn me anything. So, if you want to support the channel in more than just watching the ads on YouTube, I'd recommend going to Patreon. But that is just, you know, obviously what I have, that's just my opinion, essentially. Hang on, let me actually fix something real quick while I'm dealing with this. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Okay. I thought for a second I had to change something. I did not. Okay. Dang, last thing I uploaded was in 2020, good lord. Anyway, this episode was essentially Charlie dealing with the fallout of not only losing Serpentius, as far as they know, because as far as they know, he went, bye-bye, essentially, for good. That he's not coming back, ever. And Charlie's not taking this well, obviously. And, I did notice that whenever... Hold on, I've got to get the... Never mind. I'll do that after I get this recorded. Okay. That when it showed Alistair watching everybody coming in, it showed him having the green stitching on his abdomen where he got hurt. So, it makes me wonder, does the other ones that he has, not obviously the ones around his mouth, because I'm assuming that is something else. Maybe. But maybe the one on his arm, because he had one on, I think it was his left arm, essentially. Right up here, like right where it attaches to his dang body. And probably some others. But are those potentially past wounds that have healed, essentially, but still have the stitching because, you know, it's voodoo magic? Let me know what you guys think about that, because that actually makes me wonder who the heck ended up doing that much damage to Alistair before to rip off his arm. Was it Vox? Was it somebody else? Was it the person who has his leash? We don't know. But yeah, obviously, a lot of people there are there because they think that they're there to kill angels. And that's obviously not what Charlie wants, because the only reason they went after the angels in the first place is because Adam and them were going to come to their hotel and destroy them all. So it was self-defense. Otherwise, if that had actually not happened and Heaven was actually willing to work with Charlie, at least the bare minimum, this wouldn't have happened, essentially. And obviously, Charlie is not able to handle the pressure of dealing with her grief, everything else going on in the hotel, and the reporters who are hounding her. There's this one guy who keeps saying, "Should I divorce my wife? Should I kill my wife? I killed my wife! I regret killing my wife!" He just keeps going on about that every time it shows the reporters, essentially. And Vaggie is trying to, get Charlie to, grieve and process everything while she handles everything with the hotel going on. And obviously Husk is doing his job of trying to deal with all the people who want alcohol, and Angel Dust is doing what he does best. But it's obviously not helping. Cherry Bomb obviously isn't going to help because she was only there to help with the fight. And that's it. And she's obviously pretty upset that Serpentius confessed that he loved her and then ended up dying. And she wants him essentially to come back just so she can punch him in the face for doing that. Which, totally fair. I would be upset too. It's just like those people who say, if you die, I'm gonna kill you in the shows and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, that's totally on brand for her. Though, to be fair, I think she would punch him and then hug him and kiss him. So, I think she would do that. Because, I mean, yeah, she's pissed off, but I think she is... I think she does like the idea of the two of them potentially ending up together, and we also see what the V's are up to with this whole thing. They are not happy that Katie and the others are kind of spinning the story in a positive note, and they want to be able to scare the populace into listening to them, and if they're listening to Charlie, they're obviously not going to do what they say. And we get our first look at Baxter, who is going to be the new resident of the hotel, and Charlie's kind of still not dealing with the whole Serpentius thing, and thinks that because Baxter is a scientist, that he essentially is the new Serpentius, and even gets his name wrong a few times. I'm like, you need to go and process this whole thing. You need to sit down and start processing this whole thing, because obviously that's going to take time. You can't just do that in an afternoon and be done, because that sort of thing takes time. But she obviously doesn't have the time to just sit and deal with her emotions and her grief, because, they've got this to deal with. And, for some reason, the V's are trying to essentially become gods, which, dude, even if you manage to raise up hell, that doesn't mean you're going to be able to, get into heaven. You're gonna have to find a way to get into heaven somehow. I don't know how they'd be able to even do that. Only way they could even try is if they went Charlie's route and tried to be redeemed. Then they could get into heaven, but then I don't think they would be able to, because they still have their ulterior motives, and I think that would keep them out of heaven. But, yeah, everybody sees that she's getting overwhelmed when she tries to deal with the reporters again. And like I said, the other guy is just popping and saying, I'm gonna kill my wife! I regret killing my wife! Blah, 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 blah. And they tell Alistair, go and do something. You're supposed to be the host of the hotel. Why are you not helping? It's like, am I gonna go help? No. Am I being difficult? Yes. Do I enjoy it? So much so, essentially, where he turns his head creepily. So yeah, Alistair's not going to be any help in this. I don't know why he wants to do this. But thankfully, Lucifer steps in and helps her out and gets her out of the freaking mess she's in. And I guess into his little tower. And he ends up essentially telling her that you need to essentially rest. And that... dang it, where did he end up telling her? That she's doing an amazing job, essentially. And she's obviously thankful that he's there and supporting her. And she essentially tells him that... No, he tells her that... No, she was... I'm sorry, I'm getting myself mixed up. She's telling him that essentially she thinks her mother would have loved what she's doing. And Lucifer essentially agrees with that. And they essentially talk about how they miss her. And it makes me wonder... Does Lucifer know where Lilith went off to? I'm assuming he knows, because he didn't automatically take off his wedding ring thinking that she abandoned him and wanted to divorce him or something, because that would be my first thought if my spouse ended up leaving for 8 years without a word of anything of where they were going or anything. I would assume that they wanted a divorce, essentially, and I would have already taken off my wedding ring by that point. But since he hasn't, either he's a freaking not as much of an optimist when it comes to his wife, or he knows something. He knows that she is in heaven and had to deal with Adam, probably for the same reason that he made a deal about the exterminations, probably for the same reason, to protect Charlie. Which I'm assuming that's what the case is, because I'm really hoping that's the case, because if it's not, this makes Lilith look really bad, essentially, if it isn't. But also, a side thing is that Vaggie is trying to change her name because Adam is the one who gave her the name Vaggie, and she doesn't like it. So she wants to have a new, unique name that's all her, essentially, but she's having a hard time coming up with it, because she keeps on trying to add Vag to everything, essentially. And Charlie knows what she's doing and is completely okay with her changing her name, but it's probably obviously going to take some getting used to once she figures out a name. And like I said, the V's are trying to figure out a way to become gods. And we actually get a bit of backstory on what Vox was like when he was alive. Apparently he was the leader of, I'm guessing, a cult. And that was probably the closest he would ever get to being a god, essentially. And he wants that feeling back, and he's trying to get the other V's to do the same with him and become gods as well. Whether he does or not, or if he comes to the point where he gets that chance and the others have to stay behind, he would probably take it in a heartbeat. I would think. And that's what the second song is them, going over what they're going to do once they get to heaven. Which I highly doubt they're going to, especially Valentino. He is definitely not getting into heaven. And Valentino is dumb. Valentino was dumb, apparently, because apparently Vox dumbed down what he was trying to tell him, and he still didn't understand. We didn't hear the explanation, but I'm assuming it was for, like, a kid. Like a toddler, essentially, and he still didn't understand. But yeah, I'm willing to bet that when it comes down to it, if it came to that point, I bet Vox would leave them behind to get what he wants. Whether he would actually go through with it after that, I do not know. It depends on how close those three are. But I'm getting the feeling that he would leave them behind and just go do what he wants and leave them behind, like I said. But thankfully, Charlie steps up and essentially tells everybody, if you're not here for redemption, you need to leave. Because that's not what we're here for. We're not here to kill angels, and all that stuff. And, well, obviously everybody leaves. Only one who stays is Baxter, that we know of, essentially. And he's there, essentially, just to prove that redemption is impossible, essentially. He's got a hypothesis. He thinks redemption is impossible, and he wants to prove it with science. I wish him good luck. Anyway, I'm going to go get my food. I've got a couple burritos. I'm just about done in the air fryer, and I'm going to eat and get this uploaded. So by the time you guys see this, like I said, if you want to support the channel, I'd recommend the Patreon one. If you don't, then go on ahead and use the Rumble one. I don't really care which one. It's just which one ever works, because I don't know if the one will stay on Rumble. I do not know, because the other ones are, but my Overlord one did not. It did not stay on Rumble. It got taken down. That's why I'm kind of iffy. That's why I got 2 spots just in case. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video.